Welcome to the 9th annual Downingtown STEM Academy Homecoming Weekend. But first, a special thanks to the Downingtown Alumni Association and to the STEM Academy Student Council for putting together this weekend. Also, thank you to the STEM Academy administration and teachers, the Home and School Association, and the athletics department. Please remember to be respectful to the players, referees, fans, and facilities tonight. Tonight's first game will feature the freshman class versus the senior class. The freshmen are led by head coach Asim Rastogi, and here they come just now. And introducing the class of 2023, the seniors are led by their head coach, George Liu. Please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem. Tonight's national anthem will be sung by Claire Blizzard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome to the 9th annual STEM Homecoming Weekend. We are just about set to get kicked off in the first game of the day between the freshmen, the class of 2026, and the seniors, the class of 2023. I know who I got for this game, but I'm supposed to be unbiased.
For anyone wondering, both the people up here in the booth for this game, both Adi and myself, John Michaels, we're both seniors in the class of 2023 at the STEM Academy, so I think it's pretty obvious who we're rooting for in this game.
Good evening, Dr. Staub.
like we are getting going on the opening kickoff.
It does indeed look like that. And we're just about set. And the seniors are going to be getting the ball 10 yards ahead because of the voting in the Spirit Week. So that is a good advantage for them, although I don't feel they will need it.
Each day this week has been a different Spirit Wear day in anticipation of this event, and whichever class had the most students participating each day got an extra 10 yards added to their opening drive for having the most school spirit that day.
And I'll just say it now, John, before the games start, this has been an amazing week, and it's going to get even better, obviously, with homecoming tomorrow and with this game that is about to set off in just a few seconds here. We need to remind anyone who is not already reminded, this is certainly not professional football, so some of the plays and some of the lineups might be a little bit confusing for us, so pardon us if we mess anything up.
Yes, we've been receiving some rosters from head coaches and some printed out this week. Some of the team rosters are very accurate with full depth charts, and some of them we just have not received for certain classes.
And it looks like the seniors are set to go on offense here to start the game with their QB, Lauren Largoza. And she takes the ball herself, picking up more yards. Down for about... And she was untouched.
Looks like head referee, Mr. Horseman, is ruling her out of bounds at about the 12. Still quite the opening pickup right there. Rules for PowderPuff football are a little bit different as we've seen in past years. Every player on the field is an eligible receiver, so occasionally linemen will just take off and receive the ball. Or in that case, they may decide not to go for the pass and just have the quarterback take it themselves.
And a good run there by Largoza to start the game. We'll see what they have now. This is a toss play. Gets the edge and scores the touchdown on the second drive, the second play, of the game.
And an excellent job to get open there by Sam Graybill. They just pitched it right to her, and she found the open space and got to the end zone for the first score of the game. Gets the seniors a really strong early lead.
And the seniors, unsurprisingly, strike first.
And besides the overall size advantage that the seniors have over the freshmen, they also have a lot of experience on that lineup.
Indeed they do, John. We'll see how much that impacts the game here. It looks like so far the crowd is getting into it already, and they scored very quickly on that drive. Now we'll see what the freshmen have in store to respond.
The senior crowd has been going crazy since before they even entered Koppmeyer Stadium tonight. They had a big tailgate outside that we could hear up from the booth.
Oh yeah, undoubtedly the loudest class in the school. And my favorite. Might be a little biased. So here's the snap, and it is
put in for the touchdown again.
But I believe that was a 1-point conversion, John.
As we have mentioned, the PowderPuff rules are a little different.
Right, and as you saw right there, the seniors started about 10 yards from the end zone, and had they scored, they would have picked up the 1-point conversion, which they did, picking it up. It is now 7-0.
Because of the way the field is set up, this field is a little smaller than a regulation football field. The end zones are positioned between the 20 and 10-yard lines, and the sidelines are only 2/3 of the normal size, so it doesn't quite make sense to them to line up and actually try to kick a field goal, because they'd be off-center due to the dimensions of the field.
And now the freshman drives begin. As we'll see what they have planned. And it is a handoff. Gets the edge and ruled down for about 5 yards.
Definitely a little strange. I don't know if I saw her flag quite come off. Maybe they ruled her down otherwise.
I believe the flags might be individually placed rather than an entire belt. So, takes a snap and tries to hit the edge. There's a lot of seniors there, but they couldn't. But they did get her down for a small gain. The flags are individually placed on the penny, so it is hard sometimes to judge whether it's down up from the booth, but the refs did rule her down at about the 40-yard line.
And I definitely say the lineman got an excellent jump on that play. Really got past the line and got her down quickly. She really did not have anywhere to go on that play.
Maybe a little too premature of a jump, as there perhaps might have been someone who false started, but the refs let him play. And an interesting setup here for the freshman, as the QB takes the ball herself, tries to get around the edge, cannot, and is ruled down.
So that play was very similar to the opening play for the seniors, just couldn't quite get the same amount of space, didn't quite jump immediately. I know for the seniors, Largoza took off almost before she even had the ball. She was catching it on the run and going. She did not give them any time to get ready. She just took off. They definitely took a bit more time to get started and got shut down quickly because of it.
That is exactly correct, John. And it is now 4th down, 4th and 3 here. So we'll see what the freshmen have in store. And it is another handoff, gets the edge, and down. Might have John picked up the first down there, getting to the edge. We will see what the call is here. And the refs mark it.
Seems they marked it short.
They did indeed.
So a turnover in the freshman's opening drive. Not the best way to answer that opening score, but they still have chances to get back in this game.
We'll see what they do now as the seniors try to go up 2 scores. Also, John, we were wrong there. It is actually 8-0 to the seniors, as that was a 2-point conversion. It seems like there is 2 running backs in the backfield for the seniors, and the snap is taken, gets the edge. Seemed to have tripped there, fell down at around the 53-yard line. Yep, ref's marker at just about the 50, we'll say the 54.
It's a little hard for us to judge the yard lines up here because, as we mentioned earlier, the dimensions of the field are a little rough.
Indeed, they are. It is obviously a much shorter field. center takes the snap, and it is a motion as 6 gets to the edge, still untouched, out of bounds. As a freshman is on the ground, gets to about the 33-yard line. We'll say the 34.
And so far in this game, coming up on our third drive here, we have yet to see a passing play, but that's pretty common for PowderPuff football. Is because it's flag football, it's pretty easy for a running back to just find space, get through, and avoid getting their flag pulled.
And as we can see, there was a little confusion on both teams there. The ball was spotted much further than the freshmen thought, as they were in front of the football when they were in their huddle. As she takes the snap, takes it herself, trying to get to the edge, is able to do so.
And that's ruled a touchdown.
She does score there.
And an excellent job by Ellison Marotta, the quarterback on this drive, finding another great run play, finding space, and getting to that end zone. And she really fought through a lot of defenders to get there.
And the senior sideline getting very excited.
And the seniors definitely have a very big sideline. Having been in school today and seeing the pep rally, I think it's easy to say that at least 2/3 of the senior class is involved in some way as a player, cheerleader, or coach.
Very much so, John. As the 2-point conversion, she tries to get to the edge, and it looks like
the attempt
they will
is
rule
no
her
good.
down. Yes, they will rule her down, so it is now 14-0.
Now the freshmen, if they're looking to get back into this game, they really need a score right here. Maybe switch it up, go for a pass play. Just change up the game plan from the last drive because it didn't really seem to work too well.
Indeed. And we'll see what they have planned here on offense.
And really good on the freshmen. They're not giving up hope. They still want to win this. And they're still giving it their all, despite being favorites from all the students to be bounced in the first round. They're really giving it their all and trying to beat that thought.
It is interesting to see here. Will there all be enough, though? We will see shortly. As there's an option play as she gets down the edge and pushed out of bounds for a big play on that second drive.
And that's exactly the momentum shift they needed to get back in this game and get their crowd going again. The freshman student section, they're not quite into it yet. They don't have the same amount of experience as a lot of the other student sections, so they're just learning how to get excited, how to get hype, and they're starting to figure it out now.
Ironically, they're the biggest class in the school, but they are also the least experienced, so we'll see how that impacts this game. And now the freshman with a chance to score. As freshman QB takes a snap, fake handoff again, same play as last time, and the seniors are over at that time, but a flag on the play.
Flags from both referees, so must have been quite flagrant for both to see it from such a distance.
And the penalty there is a holding on the offense. It will be 10 yards backwards.
And that just really hurts them after that awesome play. Gives the seniors a lot more breathing room on defense. Gives them a chance to really take a breath, try to shut them down here.
Yeah, we'll see how the freshmen respond to that. And there seems to be a lot of noise from the stands as the fans are getting into it.
Seems like some of the sophomores are even getting into it. Their team isn't on the field yet.
And she picks up a gain, but is marked out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. And the sophomores are getting very excited for a team that will most likely lose the juniors. And this is a timeout, freshman, as they will take a step back and see what they want to call here.
Still waiting on our first big pass play here tonight. Not too many of them in past PowderPuff games, but when they happen, they have the potential to be huge.
And while they're taking a break, John, I just want to mention what good a job we're doing not being biased. Yet to make a remark about the freshmen being short yet, so...
Well, so far until the passes start happening, the height factor doesn't quite play any role yet.
That is very true, if the passing factor ever begins.
But I'd definitely say the seniors, if they decide to go for a pass play, definitely have an advantage in that they can throw a jump ball to almost any of the receivers to get a play.
And this is a QB run. She gets down the sideline and untouched into the end zone for a touchdown. And the freshmen score. And the seniors are booing. They seem to think that she was down on that play.
I definitely saw a hand reach in for the flag. I don't know if the player was able to pull it or not, but definitely a lot of amp and a lot of thought that that was a down.
And it looks like they're taking the points away here. They're going to start from the 23, which is where she was marked down.
So she was marked down after all. I would definitely say, looking back, as I mentioned, I did see a player get a hand on the flag. It's just a little ambiguous as to whether she managed to actually take it off.
Let's see if the freshman can repeat that in the last drive. The QB runs have really been effective for them.
Yeah, they've been faking the handoff almost every play. Bet the defense, they're probably not even looking for the regular handoff yet. They're probably hawking the quarterback every play.
John, we'll see what they do here as the snap is taken and another QB run. And this time they were all over it.
Wow, she got brought down quite hard, and I definitely would say she's short, no question about it.
Did not even have a chance. And
flag is thrown on the play.
And an unnecessary roughness call is called on the defense.
I definitely believe it. The runner was almost flipped onto her head, being brought down.
That was a bit of a dangerous landing there.
Definitely. Goal is to keep it safe tonight. None of the players are wearing padding or helmets, so that sort of roughness is just, as the penalty implies, unnecessary.
And you gotta remember, this is for fun. You can't be acting physical like that. Just enjoy yourself. Let the game come to you. And there's a high snap and another QB run, and this time absolutely no flag, no nothing. That is a downed freshman.
And with that, the first half is over.
And a good end to the first half there for the seniors.
Just a reminder that PowderPuff rulings being different also extends to the time clock. In these early games, the time clock it's a running clock, and there are only two halves. It is not played in corners. When we reach the final round of this playoff bracket, it will be played in 8-minute quarters with timeouts and a clock stoppage.
after the freshman boys' performance.
Definitely quite something. I remember back in our freshman year, the performances. Ours was pretty exciting. I know there were lots of flips and stunts. I remember seeing some of them pull the same stunts and flips at the homecoming dance the next day on the hardwood gym floor, which was actually pretty crazy to see.
Very impressive indeed. And now, at the end of half, the freshmen will start with the ball.
Keep in mind, these seniors are up 14 to nothing coming out of halftime.
Also, keep in mind the freshmen were at the 2 yard line at the end of half last time. And down instantly.
That was quick.
The first time they actually handed off to the running back, it does not go for anything.
Guess we see why they've been doing those quarterback runs. I bet you they probably had similar results in practice and just knew to go with the quarterback sneak every time.
I guess so. But the seniors were on that at the end of the half, so we will see now what the freshmen resort to.
Keep in mind, none of them have seen a passing play happen yet, so they're all over the run game as of right now. And it makes sense because the weather's pretty cold out there, and none of the girls have receiving gloves on, so the ball will bounce right out of their hands if it's not thrown just right.
And a high snap, and guess what? Another QB run, and she just runs to the sideline, trying to get as much yards, does not get many.
And the senior line got an excellent start on that to really put pressure on early. And when I say a good jump, I mean a suspiciously good jump, Adi. I think you agree with me on that.
I very much do. I did not want to say anything, but there was indeed a little bit hasty on that jump.
But no flag, no foul, right?
I guess so. So we'll see what the freshmen have here. As the QB takes snap, drops back to pass, deep ball is incomplete here.
First pass we've seen tonight, I must say, that was pretty deep. They were looking for the whole thing right there.
Indeed, looked like it was drastically underthrown though. The receiver could not get to it in time, hits the ground.
Definitely, the quarterbacks may have warmed up, but in the time between warm-ups and after halftime, they haven't had much chance to pass the ball.
It is very cold, so that's going to impact them as she takes a snap for another pass. Another deep ball. Caught! But a flag on the play.
We'll see who that flag is on.
And it is an offsides on the offense.
That was a pretty good play, but if one of the receivers was offsides, it makes sense that they would get open like that. Quite impressive that they managed to track down that ball, though. It came out of the hand a little funny and just sort of died. It probably was intended to be a deeper ball, but it just sort of died out after 15 yards. Good job by the receiver to track it down.
And now we will see what the freshmen have in store. It is 4th and very, very long.
So what do you think, Adi? Do you think they're going to go for that quarterback run we've been seeing a lot, or are they going to try to air it out for a third time this drive?
Oh, actually, it looks like the seniors are on offense here. Unless I'm very
Or is
much
that
wrong.
I guess we missed it. That was probably the turnover just there.
And as the snap is taken, and it is a toss play. Good blocking downfield, gets out of bounds into the freshman sideline at about the 47-yard line.
And it took them a while to bring her down, even when she was surrounded by 3 defenders right there. She must really be getting elusive to prevent them from pulling on the flags.
Right, and good blocking there. There was a good couple of first blocks there. She was able to get around to pick up a decent amount of yardage. Here, just slightly above the 47-yard line, the seniors take the snap. And it is a wide receiver sweep, and she falls over.
Looks like the turf monster claimed its first victim tonight. Definitely noticed that at Kopmeyer Stadium. When the weather gets cold, players start slipping. It's just the way the turf works here in Downingtown, I suppose.
Very much so. And also, John, I do not believe any of the players have cleats on, so that will also do a lot as they have a lack of friction.
I'll have to talk to the coaches. I'm curious if they allow the players to have cleats on tonight. Probably for safety reasons, I'd assume not.
That does make sense. As she gets over the edge, past the 30, is that a touchdown?
Looks like it is.
There's a bit of a confusion, but they did mark it a touchdown, untouched into the end zone.
Wow, they've been finding a lot of space along the sidelines all night.
And that was an interesting celebration, but
there are no excessive celebration penalties that I can remember in PowderPuff history, so I think they've probably been practicing their celebrations as much as their touchdowns.
And the seniors are going to go for 2 here to see if they can extend this lead. It is currently 20-0, trying to make it 22. And we can see here, John, the seniors have a much more classical, I want to say more professional football-based lineup here, as they got 5 on the line. And as this one is another wide receiver jet sweep, and she is out of bounds short. Does not get the 2 there. 22-0 still. Short on that play there.
So at 20-0, freshmen really have to get a move on with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half. It would take a miracle offensive performance for them to get the lead in this one.
Right. And as you can see, back to that assertion I made earlier, the freshmen like more receivers on the outside, whereas the seniors liked having that extra interior lineman.
A few late additions to the defense there. There's a bit of confusion on the substitution.
And we'll see here what they have. Looks like a cover 1 formation and another QB run. And she is called, and a whistle is blown. She is called down at about the 47-yard line.
Freshmen are figuring out that the run game is a lot better than the pass game in PowderPuff football, just because of the nature of how flag football works out.
And the QB has done most of the work on the ground. There have been a few run plays. Obviously, the one pass play, that was a flag. But
props to the freshmen for trying it. I know the seniors have not gone for a pass play yet tonight.
Well, they have not needed to, as another pass play, as mentioned, a deep ball and incomplete. Nothing was open there.
Looks like they're struggling to get a good spiral on the ball on those passes, and it's really understandable because when it gets cold out, you don't really get the same grip on the ball, and it'll just slip out at odd times. Your fingers will catch on seams that you didn't even know were there on the football. And also when it's cold, the receivers need that tight spiral to catch the ball, otherwise it'll bounce right out. And that's one of the real perils of going for pass plays in cold weather without gloves.
That is correct, John. And we see here, and they noticed that, went to the run play there, and untouched. This could be a touchdown.
Looks like she was ruled out of bounds.
She was ruled. And no touchdown there, actually. She was ruled out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Sorry for the plethora of incorrect calls up in the booth here. As you can see, it is much harder to judge whether someone is down on a condensed fields with flags than it is in regular tackle football.
And the flag belts, it's not like we're seeing the whole flag belt come off. It's individual flags, so it's really hard to tell.
And there's a bunch set and another QB run. And she is yet to be taken down. And she scores. Touchdown. Touchdown freshman.
Wow, and the freshman sideline just runs onto the field. They're excited to get on the board after about 3/4 of play here.
Not just 3/4 of play, about 3 years of play it has been since the freshmen have gotten into the end zone. So nice historical moment there.
Wow. I knew the freshmen didn't typically do too well against the seniors. I did not know that particular stat. Thanks, Audie.
Well, John, it was, I believe, the closest game in STEM history of PowderPuff was last year when the freshman class of 2025 won 6-0 as the freshmen go for 2 this year. As I was saying, John, last year the score was 6-0 to the seniors, a very close game with a questionable touchdown call. But this year it does seem to be a lot less close.
So the freshmen are going for 2 here. They're doing anything they can to get points on the board and try to crawl their way back into the game.
And I am still confused whether there is a 1-point conversion call.
If I remember correctly, 1-point conversion is going from the 5.
And the call is short. No good. Out of bounds. Short of the line to gain.
Still not quite getting what they need to get back into this game.
So the seniors march on the field, up 20-6 now.
And I bet you they know the importance of this drive as much as we do. It's pretty guaranteed if the seniors get a score on the board here, that's the game. They can shut it right here.
That is true, John. And the freshmen have put up a good fight here. That is 2 straight years where the freshmen have put up a pretty good fight in the first game. We haven't seen much of it in STEM's PowderPuff history, but there is the rare few games, and now we've gotten treated with them 2 years in a row.
As head coach George Liu comes out to talk to his seniors, and they must be going for something pretty good on this play, or he's just reminding them how important this drive is.
Could we see a pass play here, John?
Definitely. The amount he was talking to Lauren Largoza, the quarterback,
And
I can believe it.
And it is high pass picked off. Picked off by the freshman. On the return down at the 40-yard line.
Wow, and that is probably the reason they haven't gone for the pass play yet tonight, as that has given the freshmen a breath of new life to get back into this game and try to fight their way within winning distance.
And much like the juniors' grades last year, Lauren Largoza throws this away.
Wow.
Had to get one shot in there. We have been pretty unbiased this game.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of trash talk similar to that and in the school building today, and especially during the pep rally. Students are really excited, and I cannot even begin to describe how much the students get into rooting for their team.
It is very much so.
STEM does not have a whole lot of sporting events that it can call its own, and this football game is one of few.
And we see the seniors call a timeout here.
Looks like they're going to make some substitutions. Get ready. Try to make sure they can get a stop here and keep their lead safe.
Exactly. They do not want to let the freshmen get a chance here to get within striking distance.
I'll have to ask head ref Mr. Horseman after this game if he remembers any games the freshmen have beat the seniors. Definitely this year. It looks like they're starting to have a chance if they can score here to pull it off. But I certainly in my lifetime cannot remember the freshmen ever actually doing it.
From what I've heard, John, in STEM's brief young history, the freshmen have yet to beat the seniors in a game. They are 0-8 all time, I believe. And you got to feel bad if the senior class has ever lost.
Definitely, that would be a tough thing to experience, especially the next day in school, having to see all the fans that were rooting for you.
As a pass play and a sack there on that play. Seniors getting to the ball quick.
And speaking of getting razzed at school the day after, I can definitely see a lot of comments about that play right there.
Indeed. As we'll see what defensive coordinator Rishi Cam Tam has in store for the seniors defense. As another QB run, and she is taken down.
One of the players is holding up a flag at about the 47.
There does appear to be...
See where they rule her down, as they do have some evidence that it was way back at the 47, and she could also be down closer to the 25 or the 30, depending on where they rule it.
As we see a little bit of confusion here. Looks like one of the refs is standing at about the 42-yard line. Sorry, I believe that is the 38-yard line.
And it looks like they're going to spot the ball on the 38th. She was brought down way back where Gabrielle Aceto was holding up the flag.
Agreed, John. And we'll see what they have in store here as the running back takes a snap and is taken down very quickly.
Wow, that was just excellent defense right there. I mean, she jumped all over the running back, got the flag, gave her no chance to advance. That was textbook defense.
And the two defensive coordinators for the seniors, Rishi Kamtam and Vanch Luthra, saw the struggles of the seniors on the offensive drive and knew they had to step up here in order to get a stop. And good job by the senior players to execute.
I can definitely say those coaches are feeling a different kind of pride right there, just seeing how well the defense performed on that play.
They are two brilliant Madden players. Here, the deep ball over the head, turns around too early.
Freshmen definitely putting a lot of faith into their pass game. And so far it hasn't worked out for them, but really all it takes is one big deep play and they get a touchdown.
And they do need to put effort into that, John, as there is only just over a minute left in the game with the clock ticking.
Yeah, they have 21 yards to go on this fourth down with only a minute left in the game. So 4th and 21, you think they're going to go for the QB draw, or do you think they're just going to chuck it deep and hope for the best?
Well, I am a very statistics person, and as far as trends go, I would try the QB sneak here. Is this a punt formation right here? Oh no, the seniors are on offense.
It seems like they marked it as 4th down when it was really first. So if that is the case, the seniors really, all they need here is a kneel, a run, or to just avoid throwing another interception.
All right. And there is not a delay of game, I don't believe, in PowderPuff football. So they can take as much time as they want after the play. As a receiver motions, Largoza takes the ball herself and out of bounds at around the 45. That one we could see clearly, John.
Definitely. Freshman defender was very quick to get the flag and hold it up for everyone to know that she definitely brought her down.
Right. And a timeout is taken by the freshman, obviously needing to stop.
They're trying to do anything they can, down 14 with 34 seconds left. Not a whole lot of time to get 2 scores, and the seniors definitely know it as they're strategizing right now.
And we'll see what George Liu has in store for the playbook. I would assume with the trends here that they will stick to their run game.
Definitely no need to risk it going for a pass unless they just decide that with, say, 10 seconds left in the game, they're just going to have some fun with it and chuck it deep to practice for the next game.
That's true, John. And there seems to be a receiver completely uncovered. Never mind. Motions over and a fumble on the play. Largoza picks it up, but it is ruled down.
And with 1 minute left, the clock is stopped after every play.
And there is a timeout for the freshman.
Freshmen really using their timeouts, trying to do anything they can to make something happen.
And with that play will not help the seniors at all there with that fumble. And once again, as John has mentioned multiple times, it is very cold, hard to hold on to the football in these weathers. The field is also slippery. The ball might have some moisture on it. And another handoff. This one a toss. This time she holds onto the ball, gets past the 50-yard line, spin move, and brought down, and a flag on the play.
I can definitely believe an unnecessary roughness call because the defenders really shoved her over and she rolled after Definitely not what you're looking for in a game of gentle flag football.
She was there. And the clock runs out.
And with that, the seniors win 20-6 in the first game.
A good effort by the freshmen to score for the first time in who knows how long.
Wow, looks like head coach George Liu is definitely getting into it, really excited for this win, jumping up and down.
Better not get too excited. He still has another game to play now in the finals. And a cartwheel by Ryder Culp wearing the pink mask. I'm not sure if that was caught on camera, but we in the booth did see Ryder Culp cartwheel in excitement for his team's first win.
As the players shake hands and head off the field. So that's all for the first game of PowderPuff 2022.
Indeed, we will see you guys in the next game.
Welcome to the 63rd annual Downingtown STEM Academy Homecoming. This year marks the 58th anniversary of homecoming in Downingtown. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the STEM Homecoming Court for 2022. Isabella Clark, escorted by Tyler Mordosky. Isabella is the daughter of Jeffrey and Jamie Clark. At STEM, she is involved in both the National and French Honors Societies. Outside of school, she dances at Chester Valley Dance Academy, taking classes in ballet and contemporary. Aside from this, she likes spending most of her free time doing things with her friends. She can't wait for all that senior year has to offer and for continuing to make fun memories with her class. Grace Dungan, escorted by Ethan Lemler. Grace is the daughter of Justin and Aaron Dungan. Grace is the vice president of Key Club and has done work with the American Red Cross and Villanova Special Olympics through this club. She enjoys spending time with her family and friends, listening to Justin Bieber, and buying party mixed chip bags from the STEM vending machine. She will be seen at homecoming screaming every word of Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares. Grace is looking forward to the fun activities with her senior class and is excited to embark on college next year with a major in psychology. Victoria Labuama, escorted by Cameron Tuffner. Victoria is the daughter of Robert and Catherine Labuama. She is the president of both the STEM class of 2023 and the Student Council and a member of STEM's Black Student Union. She is a student athlete and musician as she runs track for Downingtown West and plays the viola in the Downingtown STEM Orchestra. In her free time, she enjoys photography, baking, and graphic design. Victoria is excited for the rest of senior year and all the class activities to come. Maddie Proof, escorted by Paul LaGravenus. Maddie is the daughter of Bunny and Joe Proof. Inspired by her mom's diagnosis, Maddie and her friends have recently raised over $6,400 for Unite for Her, a foundation dedicated to helping women with breast and ovarian cancer. She also co-founded STEM's Physics Club and is involved in NHS and German NHS. Maddie frequently listens to the Grateful Dead in her free time, along with shopping for vintage Dead shirts and rings. Maddie is looking forward to spending the rest of senior year with their friends, Petey and Zaina. Belle Zoe, escorted by Ishan Jha. Belle is the daughter of Peter Zoe and Linda Zoe. Belle has been dancing since she was 5 years old and has been a PowderPuff cheer coach since freshman year. She loves DECA and connecting with members from all grades through it. Her favorite movie is Train to Busan. In her free time, Belle enjoys going to Trader Joe's, getting matcha, and watching HGTV. Belle is excited for all that's to come this year for the senior class and can't wait to watch and cheer them on tonight. Crowning the new queen is Angela Bear, Vice President of the Downingtown Alumni Association. And the 2022 homecoming queen is Victoria Labuama.
The belt pack, we need to give that to Adrian. All right. Put back up the graphic. Put back up the graphic. We don't have the key screen.
next semifinal matchup features the sophomores and juniors. The sophomores are head coached by Tyler Guy, and let's welcome the sophomores. And next up, is the juniors. The juniors are head coached by David Everett, and let's welcome them into Kottmeyer Stadium.
And welcome back to Kottmeyer Stadium. Now we have our second semifinal matchup between the STEM Academy sophomores and the STEM Academy juniors.
This semifinal matchup has some history of being probably the one of the, if not usually the closest matchup when it comes to this bout. Usually the juniors do come out on top, but it is much closer, certainly, than the freshmen and seniors game.
It is certainly more of a toss-up game, and we will see who has the better matchup to take on the seniors, who of course just won in the first semifinal 20-6.
I will say, however, the juniors do have an advantage in this series, as they have won a majority of the matchups. I believe the sophomores have won 2 times in the history, but the games have been very close.
They are particularly close, much more of a toss-up than, of course, the seniors versus freshmen, as the seniors are usually coming out on top, as they did today. But we will get ready for the coin toss and let you know the result in just a moment. Our lead official, Mr. Horseman, with the toss. Juniors appear to have won the toss.
And Mr. Horseman.
They will receive first.
And Mr. Horseman. The juniors are receiving the ball. And something I wanted to say about Mr. Horseman. His reffing skills obviously are there, but he is...
And the juniors will start 30 yards ahead because of their victories in the Spirit Week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. So that is a big advantage in a game that is usually close, which could end up really swaying the result.
And what I wanted to say before I was interrupted multiple times. Mr. Horseman, his reffing skills are obviously there, but he is certainly an amazing teacher. So we will see how he refs this game, and we will see the result, obviously.
And the juniors with incredible starting field position because of those extra yards. They will start on the sophomore 30, so a first and goal from the 30 to start out. Oh, a nice lateral play there. And flag taken off right around the 24, so that'll bring up a second and very short.
And it is very short here, normally, as they are so close thanks to the yards they gained from the votes they received from Spirit Week. Certainly, we'll see how they turn up this game, but they definitely turned out a lot when it came to Spirit Week, as a lot of juniors dressed up in their respective themes that were given each day.
So now we got a second and goal from the 24. Could be considered the 4. Oh, and a nice play there by the sophomores as the juniors will drop back 3 yards, bring up third and goal from the 27.
And like I said, RC, this game has a history of being very close. We saw on the seniors' first drive, they got down the field in two plays, but here, definitely going to be much more difficult for the juniors to move on the sophomores.
Juniors with an end around. Oh, flag taken off at around the 35.
And this sophomore defense.
I mean, the juniors started from the 30, and now they're on the 35, so that says a lot about this sophomore team right here. They are not wanting to lose this game. They want to advance to the championship and take on the seniors.
And we'll see here what they do. I believe the sophomores have won once in STEM's history. They have won it all once. Must have been a depressing year for the seniors, but
Yes, that will not be this year, Adi. I will assure you of that.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, 4th and 15. Snap drops back, throws across the middle, wide open, and that's going to be a touchdown for the juniors.
And as we mentioned, RC, as we mentioned a lot beforehand, there is a history of not being much running in these PowderPuff games. But that pass play was definitely effective, and we'll see what the juniors do with that. And that was basically their...
And I can't even believe how wide open that receiver was. Standing on right like the 22-yard line, completely wide open. The sophomore defense coming up big early on, but they could not hold him on 4th down right there. And they're going to go for just 1 after the touchdown here.
Yeah, and as we can see, they're a lot closer. I think both teams last game went for predominantly 2.
And they're going for the pass across the middle, nearly intercepted, but the extra point try is no good.
And there we see there, the juniors recognized that the passing play was working for them, or at least worked for them on the touchdown play. And they tried to go back to it there with very close to the end zone and did not get it, unfortunately. Sophomores were ready that time.
That is a fine opening drive for the juniors, but I would see it as more of a sophomore victory because they started on the 30-yard line as sophomores. They only had 10 yards to go, and they only came out of it with 6 points. Of course, that is a touchdown, not the exact result the sophomores were looking for, but certainly better than put an 8 on the board. And they certainly showed how their defense is going to play, which is not to back down.
Agreed, RC. And now the sophomores start much further behind, so we will see what they do.
Yeah, they'll start from the standard 40-yard line, 1st and 20. Line to gain is the opposite 40. Pass lateral to the far sideline. And running down the sideline, flag comes off at about the 48. As Wheeler right on it.
And we'll see what the call is here.
It'll be right on the 48, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 12 for the sophomores.
And there was a stacked box on that play. I'll talk about it after this play.
Snap taken. Looks deep to pass over the middle. No one was there.
And as I was saying with that run play, RC, the box was very stacked on the defensive side, and they did get to the quarterback very fast, but it didn't seem like they recognized the handoff. And by the time they realized the QB did not have the ball, it was too late.
And really not sure what the sophomores were doing right there. The run had just worked previously, but they go for a pass, and now they're stuck with 3rd and long.
Right, it is 3rd and 12. I guess they were trying to pick up a big chunk there.
3rd and 12 here from their own 48. One in the backfield. QB runs right to the far sideline. Flag taken off right around midfield.
And that was a decent game. The sophomore offense seems to be the exact opposite of what the junior offense was on that short drive there. As the juniors, the passing game was what got the juniors in the end zone, but here the sophomores, it's the running game that they're relying on predominantly.
Agreed. Now we have the ball on midfield here. And the juniors got to be careful. They're lining up very close to the neutral zone. Oh.
And no call here. And there's certainly, I feel, a head past the neutral zone, and they're trying to get a heart count here.
A blitz is certainly coming for the juniors as they take it from midfield. QB looks for the snap. One in the backfield.
It's a snap.
Low snap.
And a big hit late on the QB. Wasn't intentional, though, and sophomores keep the ball.
And that'll be a turnover on downs. Juniors will take over from the 47. 1st and 7.
And they were trying to get a heart count there, RC. Very, very interesting idea by the coaches, considering that the refs don't call neutral zone infractions very much, as we saw in the freshman game. We'll see how much that affects their drive.
I mean, yeah, it's got to be a blatant offsides call, and it was just not that obvious, and the sophomores got a little too fancy with it, trying to draw them offsides.
And we see the sophomores. They stole a lot of stuff from the seniors, especially the seniors adopted barking.
Juniors back on the field. 1st and 6 for the juniors. QB runs to the near sideline and goes. That'll be enough for a 1st down.
And an amazing spin move on that play. Wow, it looked like she was blown up, but she was able to get to the edge, spin move past the defender, pick up a lot of extra yards.
And indeed, 1st down, juniors.
And as we can see, the juniors here going for the more traditional play, actually snapping the football, not trying to be too smart, as they realize that they are the older class and obviously the smarter class.
This will bring up a 1st and 20 for the juniors with the goal line to go. Low snap, and there's going to be a fumble, and they're going to be marked a loss of 2. So that'll bring up 2nd and 22 with the goal line to go.
Right here in the goal to go situation, the obvious low snap. I believe the cold weather definitely had something to do with that low snap.
Certainly, it is very cold. It's almost it's below 35 at this point.
As a flag on the play.
And that's going to be.
And it is a false start on the juniors.
And that'll bring them back 5 yards to the 47. So now they got 2nd and 27 with goal to go. High snap. Looks to the near sideline for a pass. And running room down the sideline, but a modest gain of 4.
Right, and a slick move there. It looked like just a check down, but a slick move to get past the first defender and break it off for extra yards.
So now we will have a 3rd and 23.
RC, I'm thinking another pass play here for the juniors.
I would assume pass play is coming here. Snap, they are looking to pass down the near sideline. Wide open receiver. And down at the 26 before the ball came loose, so they'll set up 4th down from the 26.
I'm surprised no flag call. That sophomore looked like she didn't even want to touch the flag.
Fourth down.
We are now less than 2 minutes to go in the first half of this semifinal matchup. Takes the snap, QB runs up the middle. Flags are not pulled until the 22. Stop short, turnover on downs, and clock should stop.
And an interesting play call there. They were not very close to the end zone to see a run play. Anyways, like I was saying,
Juniors still have possession, and play is blown dead. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. It was definitely the sophomores' ball. I don't know. The juniors thought they could just get away with running a play. Juniors tried to run a play from the 22 when it was not their ball. So, yeah. 1:10 to go here in the first.
and we'll see here what the sophomores have on this drive. And actually, it looks like, is this a little bit confused of this setup here?
It's going to be sophomore ball from the 23, 1st and 17 for the sophomores. Sophomores run to the far sideline, going up towards the 30, nearing the 35, but flag comes off there. And that'll be 2nd and 6 from the 34 for the sophomores.
And so we'll see what they have in store here on 2nd down.
Clock is still running as we approach the end of the first half. Up to the far sideline, flag comes off at around the 31-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 9. Timeout, sophomores.
And RC, what I see here is the juniors really do like to stack the box. There have definitely been, the sophomores have been outnumbered in the trenches there multiple times, but the juniors have just yet to get to the football. But that time they did.
Score is still very close as it is 6-0 juniors. Sophomores come out of the timeout from their own 31. So that'll be 3rd and 9 for the sophomores.
And once again, you see that stacked box by the juniors.
Sophomores looking to pass again. Up the middle, and flag was pulled, but not before the incompletion. That'll bring up 4th down. Clock continues to run.
And the juniors almost got a pick on that play.
There was no sophomore receiver in the area. That'll bring up 4th down as we dip under a minute left in the first half. And sophomore's going to look to throw. They pitch it to the far sideline. Up the sideline, flag off at the 33. And that'll be a turnover on downs.
And that time, the sophomores tried to set up a screen there. Didn't work as the juniors were all over it. The juniors have gotten into the backfield very fast, a lot in this game. And they have sometimes yet to get to the QB and get the flag, but that time, once again, they did, and they get a big stop.
We are now at 39 seconds left in the first half. It will be 1st down and I want to say 13 with goal to go for the juniors. Both teams still with both timeouts. in their first half. QB takes the snap, looks to the near sideline, throw towards the end zone, touchdown, Juniors.
And that receiver, we do not have any access to the Juniors roster, but number 50 has been amazing in the pass game, catching another pass there. I believe she has the only receptions for the Juniors, and she has been killing it.
And a quick strike there from the Juniors as they now go up 12-0, and they're going for 2 here to try to make it 14-0. They're going to look to pass once again across the middle, and that is dropped by the junior receiver. They were going to be short of the goal line anyway, even if it was caught. So the score will remain 12-0. Juniors on top as we're under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Sophomores will get a crack at one more possession here before intermission.
So we'll see what they have drawn up here. They're going to need to score quickly, at least to assert themselves in the game. They have gotten a couple of decent drives, but they haven't been able to get into the end zone yet.
And they may need to look to the pass here. Of course, the sophomores have been almost exclusively by the run so far. And they do have one receiver out wide, one on the near sideline. And they're going to run the ball for 2 yards. Timeout taken by the sophomores.
I'm not going to lie, RC. I really don't know what was going on with that play. About 2 different fakes there and a timeout by the sophomores.
And I believe that was their last timeout. They still do have one more, I'm being informed. Ball is on the 41 of the sophomores with a 2nd and 19 coming up after the timeout with 19.7 seconds to go here in the first half. Sophomores back on the field now, and they do have 3 out wide. They're going to pitch it. Cuts back across the field. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. And they got her at the 35 is where the flag is.
And
Nearly a touchdown.
And what a play call there with the fake to the right, goes to the left, fools the entire junior defense, but there was an offside call. And that might go all the way back.
We now have 5 seconds left in the half. And it is
And
going
it
to
is
be a
ruled
touchdown. So it's going to be 12-6, juniors on top, with the chance for the sophomores to add on 1 or 2 more, depending on what they decide to do here.
And I apologize to Tyler Guy, the sophomore head coach. I was making fun of his call to try to get the heart count there earlier, but it seems that play he definitely knew it was going to go big, and it did indeed go big for the touchdown.
They are going for 1 here, so from the 22. So a 2-yard play is all that's needed here to make it a 12-7 game for the sophomores, as they have struck under 30 seconds to go, and they're going to pitch it far sideline into the end zone, and it's good. As time expires here in the first half, it will be 12-7 at halftime.
And with that, we will take a step back.
At the end of the first half, juniors 12, sophomores 7. And here are your sophomore cheerleaders. your Downingtown STEM Academy sophomores.
Wow, and what a performance by the sophomore cheerleaders. Now let's give it up for the juniors.
our Downingtown STEM Academy juniors. As we begin the second half, we remind you the juniors lead 12-7.
And welcome back to Kottmeyer Stadium, and the juniors lead the sophomores 12-7 as we begin the second half. Sophomores ball, and we had an exciting first half, and hope we're in for more of the same here.
We just witnessed some exquisite cheerleading.
Yes, good cheerleading from both sides. But now we are back to football. Sophomores ball, ready to take the snap. They look, pitch it to the near sideline, flag taken down immediately. A loss of 6 on the play.
And like I said, the juniors have been getting to the backfield very fast, and it looks like in the second half, things have not changed very much.
Of course, really, the sophomores are not playing as close as the score is. They had one play that was big in that first half, and that's what scored them the touchdown. And nothing really else was going, as they were relying only on the run game, and if the run isn't working, then they're not working.
I very much agree, RC.
So we got 2nd and 26 now from the 34. And they're going to run it up the middle, flag off at the 40.
And that was an attempt at a quick gain here. You saw the blockers were very far upfield. They wanted a big one there, if not it all.
They almost did get it up to midfield, just a little bit on the flag at the 40, and now they're going to get back the yards that they just lost on the previous play, but 3rd down and 20 now.
We'll see what they have drawn up.
And the QB is going to run it to the near sideline. Multiple flags go off at the 44. That's impressive, honestly, taking 2 flags off.
And it looked like the junior who got her down was excited as she grabbed 2 of the flags, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, they only got 3 flags on their way, so if you take 2, I mean, you're pretty much confirming that they're down in case the ref didn't see one of them, you know?
Right.
You gotta be sure.
And as far as practical goes, I say the both teams should spread their flags out so it is harder to grab. Those 2 obviously were very close together.
Yes, obviously the flags, you can move them along the waistband and put them in certain positions that are harder to rip loose.
That is one perk of not playing tackle.
All right, now they got it from the 44, 4th and 16. They try to punt it and block. There's some kind of flag. 3 flags, every ref threw a flag. So there's got to be something on this play, I would assume.
I would certainly assume something did go wrong that the refs did not like. Almost just to put more emphasis on how wrong that play was.
And it's going to be an offsides on the juniors, which makes sense as they got to the punter very quickly.
Very, very fast.
So all 3 refs saw that, so no getting away with offsides on that one. That'll bring a 4th and 11. They're going to take the snap, try to punt once again, nearly another block. They had a pretty solid punt there, as it's going to be out of bounds at 37.
It was almost
There's another flag on the play.
the The refs are not happy this half. Very
And
clearly.
it very well may have been offsides again.
What do we got for penalty?
Waiting for a call on the field, and yep, offsides again.
The juniors got to relax here.
Oh, they're moving the ball back, so
Offside? Offside again, yeah.
oh yeah, offsides again. The refs seem to be a little confused about where to place the ball here, but it should be on the 46 if it was in fact offsides. And that would bring up a 4th and 6.
Narcy, why do I have a feeling the refs are insulted right now? Three flags on one play.
They are probably like, why can't you just stay on side? So, I mean, it's not that big of a concept. But 4th and 9, offense back on the field. And they're going to take the snap.
This time it
And
looks like everything
QB rush to
onside.
the near sideline. And flag does not come off until the 46 and a half. As Horseman was right on the call. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. And sophomores will regain possession from the 46 and a half.
The juniors almost set up a first down because of their excitement on the D line and the refs' excitement with the flags.
And the juniors will take over now from the 46 and a half. As they will start off the drive with a 1st and 14.
We'll see what they have in store here. Excited to see there. Obviously, the juniors are very excited, as we saw by those 2 offsides, so we'll see what their offense does.
Yeah, they are certainly eager to get that ball back, and now they finally have it back. And we'll see what they can do with it as they take the snap, look to the far sideline, looks to pass, looks across the middle, intercepted! That ball is intercepted. And down to the 38. And the sophomores get it right back.
And as we can see, that particular sophomore who picked the ball off, definitely the tallest person on the line there, was able to reach up and grab that football, and a great catch in the cold weather.
And you noticed on that play, the junior quarterback was looking to the far sideline, and there were open receivers. But then she looked right back across the middle, and there was not really anyone there, but there was pressure coming. So credit to the sophomore defense for forcing that error. Sophomores back with it, 1st and 19 with goal to go. Pitch to the near sideline, run up the sideline, out of bounds, taken down at the 36. Some extracurriculars.
Nope, doesn't look like a flag on the play there, but there was certainly some pulling after the flag came off.
Certainly, there was something there, but they're going to let it go for now. As it was near the sideline, a lot of people converging on the one spot. Now we have 2nd and 16 with goal to go for the sophomores. Takes the snap. A pitch to the near sideline, and incomplete. Going to be a forward pass. No, it is going to be a fumble down at the 41.
And it looks like that is another difference in the PowderPuff rules. It looks like if the ball is down unforced in the backfield, the fumble will be ruled down where the ball lands.
Yes, the fumble is in fact where the ball is fumbled. That is where the play ends. There is no recovery of fumble on an unforced error, as you were saying. Sophomores take the snap, look to throw over the middle. It is caught at the 33, down at the 31.
And now, I believe that might be a turnover on downs.
That should bring up 4th down.
4th down.
John was a little quick on the scoreboard.
Yeah, let's calm down here, John.
So that'll bring up 4th and 11 with goal to go. And now approaching 4 minutes left in the game. This is crucial right here. If the sophomores can score a touchdown, they take the lead with 4 minutes to go.
The juniors, other than that first drive where they were obviously very close, and another drive, they haven't gotten too much going on offense. So.
And how big are those failed PAT attempts now? The juniors could have at least been at 14 right now, but they're not. Pitch to the near sideline. Room to run.
Short.
And pretty much tackled down at the 23.
No flag again. Seems they are letting the physicality happen.
And there is a player down.
And we will take a step back here. And RC, it's been a fun game to watch here.
Yeah, certainly with that play, it will be a turnover on downs. And we do have an injured sophomore on the field. So we are going to focus on the scoreboard for right now. And certainly a crucial play in the game. We are now under 4 minutes. And it will be junior ball. And the injured player is up off the field.
She does get back up. Sigh of relief for the sophomores and for everybody participating. We once again want to remind this event is completely for fun. Everything here, everyone here is here just to have fun, to enjoy themselves and for the camaraderie. So anyone goes down like that, it is scary for everyone participating.
And I am a little bit surprised that there wasn't an unnecessary roughness call. With a player down and injured to that magnitude, you usually see an unnecessary roughness there, but the refs deemed it was not necessary. Perhaps it was a trip. All right, juniors, throw it back into the end zone. Scary pass right there. And they lose one on the play. That play was pretty much doomed from the start. They threw it probably like 10 yards in the wrong direction. Then tried to make up the yards. They almost got back to the line.
And that was certainly a very scary play for the juniors. Anyone gets to that backfield, that's a safety.
And the sophomores nearly did. They got them down at the 22, I believe, so they're barely outside the end zone.
So here we see the juniors.
A lot of motion in the backfield. Juniors take the snap in the end zone. Throws deep. There's a flag on the play. Overthrown. Incomplete.
And she wanted that ball out quick. She put zip onto that football.
There's a penalty on the play. And it is on the juniors. So that'll be half the distance to the goal. That'll be a repeat of second down.
And the juniors in a lot.
And that, yes. So now we have a 2nd and 19 from essentially the 1 yard line for the juniors. Seems like a blitz coming for the sophomores. Juniors get off the snap in the end zone. Run to the near sideline with little room to run. Get back to the 23.
And that, despite the yards it gained, for that situation, that was a good play call. Just to try to get out of the end zone. Doesn't matter how many yards you gain. Just make sure you aren't down for a safety.
You definitely need to try to get out of that safety range. And at least this will be 3rd down and about 17 now. And you want to try to pick up as many yards as possible. And then it'll bring up a big decision on 4th down whether to punt or, of course, go for it with under 2 minutes to go in the game.
Let's see what the juniors do here.
Juniors takes the snap. It's a high snap. Pressure is coming. Oh, they nearly got a safety. Ball over the middle, and it is caught! Caught at the 42! And that is going to be a 1st down for the juniors.
And head taps over a defender. Tight coverage, but it does not matter.
And that is going to be down at, they are saying, the 46. So a big gain there for the juniors. And the sophomores do have 2 timeouts left, so let's see if they elect to use them. Approaching 1 minute left in the game, and the juniors up by 5.
I do assume they plan to use one, depending on the result of this play, RC.
We are now under a minute. We have 1st and 14 for the juniors from the 46. Juniors with 1 out to the right, 1 out to the left, 2 in the backfield. Motion in the backfield. The snap is low, and that's going to be blown dead.
And the juniors, very scary, but the PowderPuff rule of the ball being down due to an unforced error does bail them out there.
That is actually big for the sophomores. They don't even have to use a timeout there, and the clock does stop at 43 seconds. Sophomores with one out wide. And they're going to run to the near sideline. 45, 50. Out of bounds at the 48. With 39 seconds to go as the ball did go out of bounds.
Looks like the sophomores were arguing she was down further back, and
And they have convinced the referee as the clock continues to run.
Funny enough, it does certainly look like Mr. Horseman was convinced pretty quickly of the sophomores.
Yes, he was. They moved it back 4 yards to the junior 48. And the clock should be running here. And the juniors take the snap. They're going to hand it off, run to the far sideline, up to the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Touchdown, juniors.
And what a play. She looked like she took down the entire team there by herself, evading defenders left and right and getting into the end zone.
And that it will be a touchdown. The juniors are going to go for 1 from the 2-yard line as they are now up 11 points, so it doesn't really matter. This PAT isn't going to change it. It's still a 2-possession game.
Now the sophomores in trouble. The sophomores in trouble here now.
Yeah, it's that touchdown should put this game away. As the juniors with a chance to go up 19-7 here. And let's see if they can get it done. A lot of motion in the backfield for the juniors. Juniors take the snap, looking for a handoff, play action. Throw to the end zone, wide open, but the throw is short. It is no good.
And that is what happens on a play action like that. Took very long for the snap to get to the QB.
The play did seem like it took a while to develop, and so it's just going to be 18-7. Juniors will stay on top here.
Much
And
too long.
11 points up, 22 seconds to go in the game. And the sophomores, I assume, are going to go for a pass deep or a little bit of a run and some hook and laterals.
And with the dynamic plays that have occurred in this game, it's not a long shot that the sophomores can get themselves back in this somehow.
Sophomores take the snap. Look deep on the left side. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Down. They got a flag at the 26.
And the junior on that play made sure she was seen with the flag in her hand. And what did I say, RC, about the dynamic plays that have occurred in this game?
That was pretty much a perfect play for the sophomores. They just could not outrun that junior defender who was making sure that that touchdown did not score.
Call me Tony Romo, RC. I did in fact call that.
Yes, that was a dynamic play. Of course, the long pass down the sideline caught around the 45 and then taken down to the 26, untouched until the 26. Nearly a touchdown on the first play of the drive.
Good job by the defender, though, to see the blown coverage and get to the player before she could score.
And let's speak to the second game now. Whoever does end up winning the game, whether it be the juniors or a miracle comeback by the sophomores, I have not seen anything that warrants either of these teams to be favored against the seniors.
A little biased there, RC, but sure.
And the play is blown dead down at the 29. We are under 10 seconds to go here in the game.
And a little to that point, RC, number 50 on the juniors is definitely a threat if the seniors do see them in the next round.
We did talk to some of the senior coaches at halftime, and they do see 50 as a threat and something to watch in the next game. And the ball was down, marked down at 36 with under 5 seconds to go. And the clock will run. And the clock will run as the juniors will take down the sophomores 18-7.
And that is your ball game.
Your final score, juniors 18, sophomores 7. Juniors advance to the championship to take on the seniors. Please welcome back the juniors and the seniors to the field for your PowderPuff championship game. The seniors elect to receive. They will start with the ball in the championship. We remind you that the championship game is 4 quarters of 8 minutes each. And we are ready for game time here in the championship.
And we are back for the first drive of the championship game. Senior run game quickly stopped at the 50, though she did pick up quite a bit of yardage before getting brought down.
Pretty good play there to start out the championship game. Seniors coming out of the gate strong.
That's what they really need to see coming into this. They want to make sure they get on the board quick and shut down the juniors.
And that's pretty much what the juniors did against the sophomores. They got on the board quick and shut them down, except for that one touchdown at the end of the first half.
All snapped. She drops back. Pressured heavily. Flag on the play. Lot going on there.
That's going to be a hold on the offense as Osepic was on the call. And ball's going to go back to the 42.
So a holding call on the offense. Ball is pushed back to the 42. Here the seniors go. Snapped. There goes, drops back, starts trying to run forward, but just can't pick up any yards as she's brought down instantly.
And juniors were on that defensively. It's going to be a loss of 6 on the play.
Man, seniors had one good starting play, and they just haven't been able to keep that momentum running. They got the momentum, and then it's just working against them now.
We got a lot of coaches on the field for some reason.
Coaches are probably very concerned after those last two plays. They want to make sure that the line is stopping up the defense like it's intended to, that the quarterback has time to make some moves and make something happen.
And now I think we're going to see a pass play on this one. It's got to be some kind of attempt to move the ball up the field. I think it is 3rd and 24. That's got to be a jump off sides.
There's the flag. Yeah, those juniors, man, they took off. It looked like the ball was snapped, but it wasn't. The whole junior team got going, but nothing really.
The ball sits motionless. Motionless on the 40 or the 36, and now it will be moving up to the 41.
Yeah, that was quite the encroachment penalty. That was just about as obvious as they come.
I think the whole team was offsides on that one.
And
the entire senior team knew it.
And I think the entirety of Kottmeyer Stadium knew it.
Whether they like to admit it or not. They're trying to jump again here. They are right on that line.
Ball snapped to Largoza. And she takes off forward. She's still going after bringing one of the defenders down. Flag on the call. Appears she was marked down about 30 yards prior to where she ended up.
And right at midfield, she completely bulldozed a junior.
And if the flag isn't way back at the 40, I can totally believe that it was on that truck move.
That's going to be 4th down, awaiting the penalty call. As there's a conference around the 45 between the referees. and they are walking the ball back.
Man, a lot of time is being burned off the clock. They've already used up 4.5 minutes in this 8-minute quarter just on this opening drive alone.
And probably about 1 minute of that was this conference by the referees that they were just having. The ball is back on the 29, and we did not hear the call on that.
Based on how far it was walked back, probably some roughness from Largoza on the truck, or something egregious back on the line.
Yeah.
Whatever it was definitely not good.
And this is going to bring up a 4th, and I'm just going to say a Walmart parking lot. I can't even count the amount of yards here.
And Graybill just takes off trying to get him as far across that parking lot as possible, but nowhere close to the first down.
Rifled back to the ref, and the juniors will start at the 40.
So juniors have exactly 20 yards to go to score a touchdown here with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Actually, I believe it's still a senior's ball, because if the penalty was in fact on the 3rd down play, it would have repeated 3rd down. The scoreboard did not reflect that change, however. That seems to be what Wheeler is trying to signal.
Yeah, Wheeler and Horstman, the referees, are currently talking to the junior team, probably let him know what's happening, who's on offense, which is information that we up here in the studio do not know yet.
And John, it should be, I want to say 4th and 20 for the seniors.
Which, ironically, is right where they started off.
And it looks like it is going to be 4th down for the seniors, set to punt.
Ooh. Play continues, but I think the whole team thought there was some serious offsides or early start on that. As the return goes deep, flag is on the play.
Looked like a block in the back on
Looked
the
like
juniors.
Block in the back or a late call on a false start. I mean, the whole play stopped. Everybody stopped and looked at the junior linewoman that just jumped.
It was a rifle of a punt right into the arms of number 50 on the juniors.
That was a very low and fast punt.
Actually, John, I think you might be right. I think that was an offsides on the juniors.
Definitely. When I say that, I believe it, because if you look, the punter looked over, saw the defensive end, jumped 10 feet past the line, and just stood there with the ball for a second before making the punt, because she was thoroughly convinced that that defensive end didn't just appear in front of her on time.
Yeah, and we do get a clock stoppage here with 49 seconds to go in the quarter.
And the seniors have yet to give the juniors the ball in the first quarter.
And they're on to punt again.
And that is a very deep punt all the way back into the end zone and out the back. That's the best punt we've seen all night. Ball rolls back to about the 5-yard line.
If we were playing on the full field, that would be a truly incredible punt.
That was a varsity level punt at STEM PowderPuff football.
And no action as possession finally changes here in the first quarter after 7.5 minutes.
Juniors get the ball for the first time with just 30 seconds left in the quarter.
And I'm a little bit surprised on the seniors' decision right there to not go for it. It would have been 4th and 15, which does seem like a lot, but in the context of PowderPuff, that really only takes a good throw, and that first down could be there.
PowderPuff plays are just a little different the way it all works out. It's either a huge play or no gain.
I think juniors are going to try to go big here.
Pass play, drops back, throws it short, but totally behind and above the receiver, drops down between the two defensive backs. No chance for an interception on that.
Not sure who that was to. Nearly an interception. Clock continues to run. We're under 10 seconds. They don't have to run a play here, and they do.
Drop back, goes for the throw, but it looks like she is brought down for a sack. That'll be a loss of 5 to 10 yards right there. That was a very deep and very big sack.
To end the first quarter.
That is not a way to leave your fans at the end of a quarter. Even if they didn't score, I'd bet you dollars to donuts that the senior student section is ripping into the juniors after that.
At the end of the first quarter, we are scoreless. Seniors 0, juniors 0.
And we are back for the second quarter of the PowderPuff Championship. The juniors have possession for the first time this game and are hoping to get on the board as we are currently scoreless. Cheerleaders for the seniors were excited to get started before they realized it was just the end of the quarter and not halftime. Quarterback gets the snap and runs it herself, getting 5-10 yards before she's brought down. And that was an excellent play. So the seniors are they're just looking to get a stop here, trying to hold the game scoreless until they can get the ball back and try to make something happen. The last thing they want to do is at any point give the lead to the juniors, because with PowderPuff football, you never know. As we saw, the seniors managed to keep the ball for the entire first quarter, so if they give the juniors the lead, they never know if they'll get a chance to take it back.
Certainly, that was not all just clock management by the seniors. There was some referee conferences on the field that delayed it a little bit.
And the clock does just keep running regardless of any action on the field until the 1 minute mark. As the juniors go to kick the ball.
Oh my.
Kickoff is muffed at first, but recovered at about the 35.
That was an incredibly lucky bounce for the seniors as it bounced straight up into the air and right into the arms of the kick returner.
That was quite dangerous, but ended up working out to be harmless.
And I am just perplexed by these punts, that the line is just remaining motionless after that offsides penalty. Not sure if the referees just told them, like, stay still until the ball's punted. I
definitely believe that either the refs, knowing referee Horseman, he probably would have the insight that just for safety's sake, it's better to have everyone stand still. Or I could also believe that with the amount of calls that have happened, the amount of penalties on punts and kickoffs, I can believe that the coaches themselves just told their line, don't risk it, don't try to make anything happen.
Yeah, it could be the coaches as well. I mean, it could be a multitude of things.
We saw with the sophomores, they managed to go from 4th and 20 to 4th and 5 off of false starts alone. So the ball is snapped to Largoza, drops back, and passes it forward, gets the reception, and the receiver is brought down after about 10 yards.
That throw into traffic and nice reception, and that's going to be good for a first down for the seniors.
Definitely. This is one of those instances where every player being an eligible receiver comes into play, because when there's a big mess of people like that, the defenders can never sort out who's trying to get the ball, and it doesn't really matter, because in PowderPuff football, whoever catches it, catches it.
Absolutely, and the senior line on the offense is definitely taller than the junior defensive line, and that's a big advantage when you're trying to go for those 50-50 balls.
Looks like there was some early movement. Not sure whether that'll be legal or not. There is a flag on the play as Largoza cuts it up another 10 yards.
And I think that's going to be a false start.
Probably. I know the senior on the end, tight end, started to move, and then the defensive end just followed her. I'm not sure which side it'll be on. I didn't see any other players moving, so it's probably on the juniors.
And it looks like they're moving the ball up.
If they're moving the ball forward, it would make sense for the senior coaches to decline the penalty, as Largoza got a gain of 10, and that penalty only gives them 5.
Not sure if they blew the play dead before, or blew the play dead before Largoza could spring for that gain. It is going to be first down again, so I guess the penalty was accepted. So 1st and 15 now.
1st and 15. Seniors have a chance to get themselves on the board. Largoza under center. Ball snapped. Handed off to Lawama, who takes off and is brought down almost instantly. Seemed to be some pushing and shoving after the play. Junior is holding up a flag, likely signaling that she got Lawama down after about 1 yard.
And the referees are, in fact, going to listen to that.
Hard to argue with a flag in the hand, that's for sure.
Yeah, I saw referee Horseman last game right on this side. He initially marked it down on the opposition 48 and then brought it back to the own 48 after a player had that flag in the hand.
So Largoza gets the ball and just gets moving. Steamrolls through the defense and picks up an easy 10.
Head coach George Liu looking for a flag there on the sideline. Not going to get it. And nearly a first down. I think it's going to be 3rd and 1 here.
So 3rd and 1 with 3.5 minutes left in the quarter, and the seniors have just done an excellent job with clock management and have also been aided by a few referee conferences here and there. So they've hardly given the juniors a chance to do anything in the first half to this point.
Really, I think the juniors had a total of about 3 minutes so far in this game. But, of course, the scoreboard is all that matters, and it is still knotted at 0.
I wouldn't even go far as to say 3 minutes. I'd go for like 3 plays
Yeah,
at the most. They didn't get a lot of chance. Looked like the center just picked it up and went for it there.
and first down.
And they'll pick up the first down.
Hey, whatever works.
Hey, it's about getting the first down as long as they get it. Who's to worry about how?
Pretty much every player on the field was on the line there, and the seniors just won the shoving match to get across.
Definitely, that's just a size advantage. Being 1 year older, they have a lot more. They can exert a lot more force and push the line. Snap to Largoza, who pitches it over to Lawama, who takes off, getting it 10, 15 yards. Brought down, but there's a flag back on the 40.
And Wheeler just signaled it's a hold on the offense, so that'll bring it back to the 44. Or actually, it'll be the 49.
And as is the age-old saying, there's holding on every great play. And would you look at that? After a gain of 15, it's canceled out by that holding call.
And they are going to put it on the 44. And that'll be a repeat of first down. So the seniors still with a very manageable scoring opportunity here.
Scoring opportunity with 1.5 minutes left as the ball is moved back further to almost midfield.
Of course, I did say the 49. Sorry, I was in fact correct. Osepic was fooling me.
So just over a minute left. Ball is snapped to Largoza. Takes it herself. Plenty of blocking for her as she picks up a solid 6 yards.
Nearing a minute left in the half. Timeout.
Timeout from the seniors.
And that's a good timeout there. 1 minute exactly to go in the half. And they still had 2 timeouts. might as well use it here as they're going to have 25 yards to go. for a
Now, just a
touchdown.
reminder, folks at home, when you're under a minute left in PowderPuff football, the clock is stopped for anything and everything. The moment the ball is dead, the clock stops. So the seniors have a bit more time before to get this job done.
And they do still have a timeout left if
They-
they choose
yes.
to use it, which they probably will.
And the juniors still yet to get a real solid scoring drive. Largoza takes up the middle of the field. Doesn't seem to quite get to the end zone. About 15 yards short.
I think another timeout was taken by the seniors. Yes. So that was their second and final. And the clock should stop.
At 50 seconds left in the quarter.
And we will step away from a moment and be right back.
So third down here with 50 seconds left in the second quarter.
So that is plenty of time for two plays, even without a stoppage of the clock.
Snap to Largoza, pitch to Victoria Leblama, who takes off, drops one of the juniors that was blocking, but brought down nonetheless.
The coach is hurrying up the seniors here as they're trying to get a play off with the running clock approaching 30 seconds and now under 30 seconds left in the half.
Seniors have no timeouts remaining, so they need this hurry up. Fourth with 15 yards to go. Snap to Largoza, takes it herself, plenty of room.
Tripped up. That should be a flag right there. No
Pushed out
call.
of bounds, but that was a pretty rough push. Looked more of like a trip or a slide tackle to get her down.
It definitely seemed like some kind of trip there, but no flag on the play. And it'll be junior ball with 5 seconds to go.
So the juniors get about one play and nothing for time in the second quarter.
The seniors with a complete domination of the clock in the first half, but nothing to show for it.
They've just been really struggling, a lot of penalties, and a lot of just early stops. The defenses have clearly adjusted to the heavy run. They were probably anticipating more pass plays earlier in the game. And now that they're realizing that there aren't as many pass plays, they're not trying to defend it as heavily. They're focusing more on stopping the run.
Yeah, and this is different than the first game.
Snapped and handed off. Running back, plenty of room. But she's brought down after 5 yards.
And we end the half scoreless as we will step aside and we'll be back for the second half.
At the end of the first half, the seniors 0 and the juniors 0. And now we welcome the senior cheerleaders to the field for their performance. your Downingtown STEM Academy class of 2023 seniors. Once again, your 2023 seniors. At the beginning of the second half, your seniors 0, your juniors 0. Juniors will start with possession.
So after a very long effort to get the seniors off the field after they stormed it during their halftime performance, here they are ready to play.
Juniors start out the second with the ball.
Snap deep to the junior quarterback, short pass, and the receiver is brought down after about a gain of 7.
Solid gain on the first play to start the half, with the juniors finally having the ball, of course.
But as we saw with the seniors, it's possible to get a good first play and then a whole lot of nothing for the next rest of the drive.
That has been the story of the game, a whole lot of nothing.
Definitely real nail biter, and I don't even say that sarcastically as I usually would.
Yes, I would agree. It is still tied with no scoring action after playing 16 minutes of football.
Short screen pass, and the receiver is brought down, but that's definitely an unnecessary roughness flag that just got thrown, as that looked a little more like a hit and a little less like a flag removal.
Yikes! That was a hit.
Yeah, receiver's body definitely jolted a bit after getting hit. That didn't look real peaceful.
Yeah, that looked like the type of hit we were seeing last Friday here in the PIAA playoff game.
Seriously, I'd agree with you on that. And as predicted, juniors are going to move up 10 yards. That is a kicker for the seniors who need to make a stop here to stay in the lead.
So now it'll be second and 6, maybe first and 6.
Steve Stabs, the quarterback, who starts to scramble but can't find space. It's brought down pretty quickly. Looks like little to no gain.
Good recovery there from the seniors. You know, after that big penalty, they actually dropped him for a loss of, or maybe a loss of 1.
Definitely important to get a great stop right there because you can't just keep bleeding away yards and expect to come out with a stop. Deep snap, handed off. Running back is swarmed, gets nowhere fast.
They're calling it a gain of 1, and that should bring up 4th.
Definitely believe the juniors are going to go for it here. They're only 5 yards away. And in the nature of PowderPuff plays, it's either 5 and above or nowhere. And their current field position is fine if they end up turning it over.
Yeah, not a whole lot to be gained here from a punt. If it goes into the end zone, of course, it'll end up at the 40 anyway. So really, no reason not to go for it here.
Steve Stapp looking for a pass. Quarterback chucks it up. Straight through the hands, incomplete.
There was some contact on the play, but the ball was overthrown nonetheless.
Definitely looked like the contact was after the ball had gotten through several pairs of hands, so. Also looked like the contact went both ways, so I'm not seeing a whole lot of cause. The penalty on the play will be declined. Seniors will get the ball back.
Not sure what the penalty was for, but on the juniors, so the seniors do not need to take the penalty. But yeah, on that ball, that was overthrown. It could have been pass interference if the ball was thrown a little shorter, but that's overthrown, uncatchable ball. Really no reason to make that call.
Definitely, I mean, the receiver, she got her fingertips to it, but it skipped right off. And unless your name is Odell Beckham Jr., I don't think you're reeling a ball in with 3 fingers on each hand.
Yeah, exactly.
So the seniors just continue to dominate the clock here. They get the ball back with full almost 4 minutes left in the quarter. Snap to Largoza, running. And she's still going. It looks like she managed to dodge the defender and bulldoze for another 15 yards.
Players down on the field. I know Sepik has a flag out.
Looks like Largoza took a minute to get up. She definitely bulldozed through her defender, but she's up, appears to be mobile and able to balance.
And Largoza now bargaining for a flag on the play. She thought she got hit pretty hard at the end.
Definitely say she nailed into the junior that was being blocked. And another junior seemed to come in there and get her too. So really it was just a slugfest there.
And Osepik did have the flag in his hand and still does, but it looks like no foul on the play on either side. And that could have gone both ways, to be honest.
Definitely. There was so much going on. Any flags would have offset. Largoza once again takes it to the other side this time. Plenty of room. And she is off to the races. Touchdown, seniors. And the seniors finally get on the board after almost 3 quarters.
A great 21-yard touchdown run. And that is just what the doctor ordered for the seniors. A quick drive there, not using much of the clock like they have done most of the game, but certainly into the end zone for 6.
And the entire senior sideline gets in there, gets involved. They're all excited to go for 2 here and put the lead that much further out of reach if they can get it. The way things have been looking this game, I'm willing to believe that if they get this 2-point conversion, the game continues as it has, they have the win.
Certainly does seem that way, as really no one has been able to crack the code of how to score in this game until now. And it seems like the type of game where one touchdown could really just seal the deal.
So Argoza is going to get the ball and get taken off. Looks like she has it. And Horseman signals it is good. So that'll make things 8-0 here with 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
"21-yard touchdown run, 2-point try is good. 8-0 Seniors."
And Adi mentioned earlier that the freshmen have never won a game in PowderPuff history, but with the juniors, they have a history of getting to this championship, and in the past, they have won before. So they definitely have it in them. They are prepared. They think they're going to get back in this. Let's see
Game
if they
is
can
not
back it
over
up.
yet.
Deep snap, play action, screen pass, and the receiver is still going. Defenders can't bring her down.
And Wheeler marks.
Whistle is blown.
Wheeler was on it.
Wheeler marks her down at about 35.
And I was about to say that the juniors had a receiver wide open on the senior 45, but obviously they got much farther than that.
Yeah, so have a timeout. I believe that is from the juniors.
And whoever that time it is a junior timeout, really just to catch her breath after that play. That's a lot of movement on that play.
And it also
Flipping the field.
benefits the seniors a bit because those defenders, I mean, they were booking it to try to catch up. Receiver just got momentum and just wouldn't be brought down.
Certainly goes both ways, and nearly a touchdown there for the juniors. Someone made a great play on the sideline around the 36 where the ball is now to prevent that touchdown from happening.
Yeah,
What a play
seniors-
that would have been.
Yes. If those juniors got that touchdown, this place would have been in total pandemonium. So first down with 42 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Juniors have the ball. Minimal line. Snap deep to the quarterback. Pressured. Screen pass, but bounces off the hands of the wide receiver.
Not a bad idea there, but there was a lot of pressure from the senior line and just dropped there. It wouldn't have been a big gain anyway. Ticking towards 10 seconds left in the third.
This will likely be the juniors' last play of the quarter. Snapped high and deep. Quarterback drops back.
Flag.
Throws it deep. Incomplete. There are 2 flags thrown on this play.
One seemed to be false start, and then one seemed to be some kind of holding. Might be on the defense. They might be offsetting penalties.
We shall see. I definitely don't think there was any interference on that deep pass. Nobody really seemed to get close to the receiver enough to knock into her.
And Wheeler did signal it was on the juniors. But that will be the end of the third quarter.
So 8-0 going into the fourth quarter here. It's still as close as ever and still a real nail biter.
At the end of the third quarter, Seniors 8, Juniors 0.
Start of the fourth quarter here. Juniors have the ball at about 20 yards to go.
Think it is second down.
Drops back. Can't find a play. There's just defenders can't seem to bring her down. Some players are gesturing that there's a flag taken off way back at the 40.
And
She seemed to keep going until the 30.
There does seem to be a flag at the 38. That's where Horseman, Wheeler, and now Osepik are. So they come to a consensus.
Tell you, that play was rather confusing to watch because quarterback looked like at first she was going to take it. Then she went to throw sort of the same screen we've been seeing but couldn't really find a receiver. Looked like she got sacked. And then she took off and got through seemingly 3 defenders. But it looked like she got brought down a lot earlier than we thought.
Nearly a huge sack of about the 45.
Third down, drops back way far. Oh, and she is sacked. That's got to be a 10 to 15-yard loss. That is enormous for the seniors.
Oh, they go back into their own territory.
Tell you, as a quarterback, when you have that kind of pressure, really it would have been beneficial for her to break to either side, but she just couldn't seem to get a chance. She kept backing up and got brought down.
And that will bring up another 4th and parking lot to go.
And if the traffic in that parking lot is anywhere as bad as the average STEM student lot, I don't think they're getting it here, Ryan.
Yeah, they are looking like they're going to punt it, which is interesting with 5 minutes to go in the way the seniors have managed the clock.
Yeah, I really don't believe, barring something miraculous, seniors don't throw the ball that much. I don't think there's going to be an interception. I don't think the juniors are getting the ball back. Short little squib punt, recovered at about the 38.
But to be fair, they did have to score a touchdown on that 4th down play if they were going to go for it, so
yeah,
probably the right idea.
The juniors, if they're going to get in this, they need to get the ball back in the next 5.5 minutes, get the touchdown, and the 2-point conversion. So the seniors, definitely a lot of excitement from the students, a lot of excitement from the teachers wearing senior colors, and a lot of energy from the senior sideline.
That 2-point conversion is huge because now the juniors, if they do end up scoring a touchdown, they're going to have to get the maximum amount of points you can get with the PAT.
Snap to Largoza. Pressured early, couldn't get her flag. She takes off, gets another 10 yards. And she's starting to get a little fed up. Seems to be getting bumped into an awful lot when they bring her down, and she's not too happy about it.
That looked like some head-to-head contact around the 46-yard line.
Definitely, and no one's out here to get hurt. And there's definitely going to be a little bit of motion if you get a hit on you like that.
There's been a few plays now like that that have gone, or that could have gone either way with unnecessary roughness calls. And they haven't really called much of them. There's been a few, but not nearly as many as there could have been.
Definitely, and when Largoza takes the ball, when she's about to get down, she definitely puts a little extra burst in to try to get that extra yard and ends up clocking into the defender pretty often. So if she's getting hit too, refs probably aren't going to worry too much about it. And she's brought down almost directly at the line of scrimmage. It's going to make it 3rd down and about 15 yards to go.
Scoreboard is showing 2nd down, but I do believe it is 3rd. Clock continues to run as we dip under 4 minutes to go in the game.
And for the seniors, if they get the score here, I mean, they can say hello to the trophy. They know if they score here, that's wraps. But also, if they can just put together a solid drive and run down that clock, they put themselves in good position.
Certainly, this game can still go either way here. Almost at 3 minutes left. But if this is in fact 3rd down, this is a huge play in the game.
Handoff, and this looks to be a huge play. Running back gets 10 yards, but she gets tripped up and knocked over. outrage from the senior coaches after she got knocked into pretty bad.
And Horseman has a word with the senior coaches. Edmund Moore on the sideline.
Knowing Edmund from the STEM Lunch Football League, I'll say if he's acting it here as he does as a player in the SFL, he's probably going to get a few more words from Mr. Horseman tonight. Goes a few yards back from the center. Snapped, quickly handed off. But it looks like the running back we brought down after a gain of 2 yards.
Another what looked like to be a tackle attempt there. Kind of wrapped him up around the legs.
I think the violence is definitely going to build here. The more the players, I hate to use the phrase get away with, but the more they hit and don't get called, the harder they're going to hit until a flag is thrown.
Yeah, at this point in the game, that's a risky game to play, but it seems like that is what's happening. And this is an absolutely huge play in the game. A 4th down and 8.
As the clock runs down, just under a minute 45, emotions are definitely at a high.
2 timeouts left for the seniors and 1 for the juniors.
Seniors, no benefit for them to take a timeout right now, as their goal is to take as much time off the clock as possible. Snap to Largoza, running, gets a gain. She either got the first down or got brought down 8 yards prior. We'll see where they spot it.
Wheeler is in fact going to mark 8 yards short of the first down as Largoza is down on the field.
So it looks like the juniors are getting the ball with 1 minute left in the 4th quarter. So they have a minute to win it, or really a minute to tie it if they can get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, exactly. They have about, I want to say, 33 yards to go in a minute, which is certainly possible, but neither team has really not been able to do that this game.
Especially because in that last minute, they have more time now because the clock will be, or should be, stopped after every play according to the rules for PowderPuff, as in the last minute of the first and second half. The clock stops after any ball. Deep snaps, quarterback looking for a pass, pressured early, wails it upfield, incomplete. And that was just a dead duck thrown out there, just hoping it finds somebody. Almost found the wrong team, but incomplete nonetheless.
And certainly at this point, you wonder if the weather is becoming a factor, as according to the handy-dandy weather app, it now feels like 25 degrees outside.
Wow. I mean, people have been coming into the booth, administrators, all night. Mr. Campbell's made a few appearances trying to warm up, but I can hardly feel my toes in the booth. So if that's how cold it is in here, I can't imagine being out there right now. Snaps quarterback handoff. Flag is on the play as the running back is still going. Brought down hard after a gain of 15 pending penalty.
I think that's going to be coming back.
Definitely looks like they're walking it back. That flag was thrown instantly the moment the ball was snapped.
Oh, it's actually on the seniors.
Penalty declined. That'll make it first down juniors. Probably false start. Then they made some serious gain on their free play.
Yeah, and the juniors elect to call a timeout here, so I believe that's their last of the game.
Definitely a good moment. Stop. Think of some strategy here. Just 19 yards away from a shot to tie it.
45 seconds left. They got more than half of what they needed on that one play. It took about 20 seconds off the clock, all in all.
45 seconds left. Game on the line. Low snap. Flag on the play. Underhand pitch forward. Receiver still going. Touchdown, juniors. refs had to quickly look at each other as a lot of defenders.
The penalty was on the seniors, and the juniors decline it.
Yep, so that'll result in a score of 8-6 seniors. Juniors are right back in this. Now they have to get that 2-point conversion if they want to tie things up.
And now, how huge is this moment? The senior defense has no bigger moment than right here. If they can stop the 2-point conversion here, prevent that from scoring, keep it 8-6, I think they will win the game.
And you know, we joke about tipping the refs and paying them off every year, but if there was ever a moment for me to run down and slip Mr. Horseman some money, this would be it.
Yeah, well,
This is a big play right here.
It seems the juniors still had a timeout left, and they would use their last here.
And there's no better time, really. It was 35 seconds for the juniors. This is the game. Flag is being waved around in the junior student section. They're all leaning over the railing. They want to see this play.
As the stands begin to rumble below us.
I can feel my seat shaking from here. And we're at least 3 sections away from the juniors and the seniors. A lot of the Kottmeyer Stadium is cleared out. It looks like it's just the junior and senior players and parents and, of course, students left.
Not a whole lot of school spirit being shown from the freshmen and sophomores. Almost all of them. A few sophomores are still here to their credit, but I do not see a single freshman still in the stands.
I think after having first-round exit chanted at you everywhere you go during school and to actually get eliminated in the first round after that, that's got to be demoralizing.
It's pretty demoralizing.
I don't blame him for leaving. Quarterback runs it. Plenty of room. Stopped up. And they seniors get the stop. Horseman signals for the seniors to wait before they charge the field because the game is not quite over yet.
We do have 30 seconds left, and it is possible on a drive earlier in the game, the seniors threw an interception on the first play.
Definitely no way the seniors are going for a pass now, knowing what's at stake. And they don't even have to try to gain yards.
The juniors have no timeouts. The seniors have to run one play, and it would be smart to do just a simple QB kneel. You just can't have the snap getting away from you here. You got to be very careful. Fundamental offense is as crucial now as it ever is.
About 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Score is 8-6 seniors, and the seniors now have possession. This should be a chip in for the win here.
Touchdown juniors. PAT is no good. 8-6.
Juniors start filing toward the exits as the seniors get ready to come out onto the field. Largoza took the knee, and now just to wait for the clock to run down. And everybody is coming on the field. The seniors are your PowderPuff 2022 champions.
Make some closing remarks, guys, and then we'll cut the screen.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoyed the stream, even if your favorite team didn't quite get there. And if you're rooting for the seniors, it's a great time to be watching. Thank you for everyone joining us tonight. My name is John Michaels, joined here by Ryan Crispin. Goodbye.